This week's home video picks feature a guy who scores limitless potential, a guy hoping to score with the girl of his dreams, and some girls living next door to a guy who's been scoring big for about 150 million years.
You know how they say that we can only access 20% of our brain? Well, what this does, it lets you access all of it.
To paraphrase the immortal Pulp Fiction, look at the big brain on Bradley Cooper in Limitless. Cooper's on the verge of A-list leading man status, and he gives one of his best performances here as Eddie. He's a struggling writer who stumbles onto a magic pill that allows him to use 100% of his intellectual capacity. It practically makes Eddie a superhero, but with great power comes great responsibility and more than a few side effects. Robert De Niro is playing a Trumpian financial legend with the unlikely name of Carl Van Loon here, and he's terrific.
You don't know how to assess your competition because you haven't competed. Don't make me your competition.
Abby Cornish is solid, but kind of underused as Eddie's on-again, off-again girlfriend.
He's gonna kill me too.
After raising some intriguing questions, Limitless kind of devolves into a standard action pick. It's slick and sometimes overly superficial, but it's well worth a rental as a clever, energy-infused, well-directed thriller. One of the more entertaining films from 2011 that kind of got lost in the shuffle was Take Me Home Tonight. This is a love letter to the raunchy teen comedies of the 80s, with Topher Grace in his comfort zone as a regular guy in his mid-20s who's still trying to find his way in a world dominated by men without hats and wham! Those are bands.
Where do you work?
I'm at Goldman Sachs.
So, are you going to Kyle Masterson's party tonight?
Most of the movie takes place in the obligatory single momentous evening where everything changes forever. As was the case with films such as Risky Business and Fast Times at Ridgemont High, there's no shortage of R-rated sex and drugs and madness, but there's also an underlying sweetness to the story as well.
Oh, I love this song. I love this song.
Do you want to dance?
Very strong work here from Grace, Anna Faris, and Dan Fogler. Also available this week is Season 6 of The Girls Next Door. There's been 6 seasons of The Girls Next Door? Jeez! You know, I was in Vegas recently and I caught Holly Madison's Peep Show. Holly Madison has no talent. Zero. Yet there she is headlining a show in which a dozen other girls do about 90% of the dancing, singing, and stripping. That's the great American dream of the girl next door. All you have to do is look like a fembot with blonde hair and balloon breasts, have a name like Carissa, or Crystal, or Kendra, or Holly, be willing to hook up with a 157-year-old legend in the robe and the Gilligan's Island skipper's hat, and you too can become a TV star. I love this country. I'm Richard Roeper. See you next week.